Hi, family. It's the word. Hope everybody doing good out there. Doing whatever you got to do to survive in this artificial, disgusting ass matrix that we all caught up in. So, Sunday, you already know what time it is. Today, what I want to talk about is masculinity and femininity. And you could say the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And just gender. Because the thing is this, right? A lot of times you hear a lot of people say we need unity, but we definitely need unity. There's no disagreement there. But definitely there's no unity if black men and black women are not unified. You know what I mean? That's the foundation of our people, is for the families to be unified. And we already could see what the the consequences of us not being unified as, black man and black woman, where it leads us. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is crazy out here. Excuse me. So, and also, once we start to look into what being feminine and what being masculine is really all about, you can then clearly see how our controllers, our conquerors, the ones that is running shit currently right now, how they divide and conquer us up. How, it's like they put little bugs in the men's ear and set up the environment for us to be a certain kind of way. And then they put bugs in the women's ear and set up the environment for, the sisters to be a certain kind of way. And this is what curates that division. And it's the oldest trick in the book: divide and conquer. Okay, family, you have to know that there is a very intentional agenda to make sure that black men and black women are separated. And so understand, and we're going to get into the details of this in another time, but understand that you have to look at all media, no matter what side it's coming from, even when they look like the good guys, even these liberals that, we've been trained to think are our friends and our buddies and our pals and all that. Like, you have to look at the media, which include movies, even what you see on BET, because BET is not owned by us. BET is owned by Viacom. All right. So we got to look at, you have to keep that agenda in mind when you're watching all this stuff. When you watch this stuff and you're taking it in, you have to keep that agenda in mind, because the agenda is in all of it, not in some of it. Anything that you consider mainstream, the agenda to divide the black man and the black woman is in there. Period. I don't care what movie you talking about, Black Panther, all that. Whatever comes from them, there's poison all in it. We got to stop thinking that, this side is the poison. And no, this side is all of this shit is poison. All right. So, but we'll get into, how that, directly in, the direct agendas, the specific agendas and how, the strategies that they use. All right. So masculinity and femininity, right? So right now there's a movement that is basically trying to get rid of gender roles. But understand, family, gender is divine. Okay, that is to say, we as humans don't get to make up if there's gender roles or not. That we have a creator, and the creator of existence puts certain rules in place for a reason. Okay, it's not just a social construct. Some things are socially constructed, right? But there is a nature to the way that men and women are supposed to relate with one another. Period. We don't get to, and see, that go into a whole nother discussion, but, we're being taught to believe in this idea that it's like, well, you just curate your own rules, and there is no right and wrong answer to nothing. And there is no such thing as any incorrect or correct. It's just whatever you want to believe. Whatever you want to believe is what it is. Speak your truth. Look, listen, there's a such thing as the truth. If you think about it, that's a very egotistical way to look at the world, right? To think that there is no correct answer to nothing. Okay, that means there is no nature to anything. And, you just get to make up whatever you think you like, and that's it. Like, come on now, like that's pretty, and this is coming from humans that you don't even really know how you got here. You don't know how this, existence was created. We don't know shit. But yeah, and still you think that, you could just make up the rules and there is no rules to this shit. And that's what, they're trying to sell us right now. And of course, you can clearly see how that works in their benefit. So, masculinity, femininity. Masculine, right, is about, well, first of all, let's go back. Masculinity and femininity is a principle of the universe. It's a principle of existence, right? That is to say that there's masculine entities and feminine entities that exist in the cosmos, right? And actually, we're living on one of them right now. You have Mother Earth, right? And Father Son. Now, I know a lot of people, when they hear that first, like, what? I mean, Mother Earth, we all hear that all the time, so that's kind of normal for us. But when you hear somebody say Father, Son, it's like, what the hell is this nigga talking about? Like, that sounds like some crazy shit, right? But first of all, right, and we're going to break this down, but first of all, even look at Father, Son. Father, Son. Mother Earth, Father, Son. Now, like I always say, this is ancient knowledge. Okay, 99% of the stuff that I say doesn't stop with me. This is ancient. Our ancestors knew this information. I like to think of myself as more of a memory jogger. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more of just jogging our memory because this stuff is in us already. But when you hear the word Father, Son, do you think that it's a coincidence that the Son is basically the same word as, say, your son, like your boy that came from you? You think it's a coincidence? Come on now. I mean, if you Google this, is it going to say that there's a connection? No. But, once again, this knowledge, ancient, and it was taken underground by the occult, and that's who has this knowledge, and they're keeping that away from us. So when you see the connection in the words, understand that there was a point in time where people in the past knew this connection. They knew that the sun is a masculine entity. And they knew that the earth was a feminine entity. Now, what is masculinity and femininity all about? Masculinity and femininity and the balance of the two principles is about creating life. Right? So, feminine is about taking in energy to create life. Right? Or you could say negatively charged. Not negative in the way that you think of as far as like bad. I mean negative like a battery. Think about it like that. Negative takes in energy, right? Takes in energy. The earth is feminine because the earth takes in energy to create life, right? In, right? From where? The sun that does the masculine thing, which is what? Pushes out energy to create life, right? The sun pushes out positive energy, positive masculine energy, and that combines with the earth that then takes in that energy, that is receptive to that energy, right? And then that's what creates life. Now, where is the life born, you can say? It's born on earth. You can say in the womb of the earth, right? That's where we live. That's where we're brought up. That's where we're born, right? It's on earth, right? As above, so below, right? A woman, feminine, you take in energy to create life, right? Because everything is energy. So let's just be grown. Semen is energy, right? You're taking in energy to create life. And then the actual child is born inside of your womb. So the same way that we are born on earth, right? Mother Earth, we're born inside of our mothers, right? In the same way, right, that your father, right, pushed in energy, right? That's what we have, something that shoots out energy to create life. That's the masculinity, right? So that's what it's about, right? It's about taking in energy to create life, negative, feminine. Pushing out energy to create life, positive, male. The two come together, you get the balance of the two, and then you get life, right? This is another reason why we can go even further and say nature, God, the one, the source, the most high, you know what I mean? Whatever word you would like to come up for it, right? The everythingness, right? Is both masculine and feminine, right? Because it creates life through balancing both of those principles. All right. So, and this is well known by our ancestors in Kemet, because if you go to what they call the Hermetic principles, and I hate calling it that because that's just the Greeks who conquered Egypt, Kemet, renaming these principles to make it, seem like they came up with them. Because Hermes is a Greek word. The real word for the Kemetan god that came up with these principles is Thoth. So, but Thothian principles, So I just say the Cometian principles. Let's just say that, right? Because, it came from Kemet. So one of the principles, right, that they commonly refer to as the Hermetic principles is the law of gender. Okay, so this is not a social construct, family. This is not something that we as humans get to decide and this, it's just whatever we say. That's not how it works. This is something that is divine. This is something that exists when we don't exist, when we exist, before we existed, and it's going to exist after we exist. All right? So, as above, so below, right? Understanding this, understanding how femininity and masculinity works, and then also understanding how everything is energy is what's going to help us to understand the gender roles between black men and black women, right? Because this is the thing. Once again, masculine pushing out energy, or another way to put that is providing, right? When you say providing, what are you really talking about? If I build if I build a house for my wife, right, then what am I really doing? I'm providing energy. I'm pushing out energy. I'm pushing out. I created a house, right? I built something. I provided for my wife, right? That's masculine. That's what a man is supposed to do. You are supposed to provide for your wife. All this new age bullshit that, by the way, it's never going to work because you can't beat nature. Men and women, both, we out of tune with nature, especially when it comes to our relationships. And that shit ain't going to never work. I don't care how you try to flip it up, twist it up. You cannot beat God. This is the natural order of things. You either going to get in harmony with it and have peace, or you're going to try to do your own thing and go against it, and you're going to fucking lose, and you're going to have exactly what you see out here right now, which is a bunch of kids running around with no solid family. Period. And we can all agree that shit is a problem. Like, that is a big, big, big part of the problem that we have as black people. All right. So masculinity, pushing out energy, providing. Feminine energy is about being receptive, right? Being receptive, not submissive, okay? Because submissive is a loaded word. Submissive is like some slave shit, okay? That's not, like, women are not supposed to be submissive, but you are supposed to be receptive to masculine energy, period. So now, this, if we really think about it, right? Even with all these new movements like feminism, and we're not going to go all deep into that, I will say this, though, just real quick. Feminism, a lot of people say, well, what is feminism really about? What feminism is really all about, right? And, I would love for someone in the comments to prove this wrong, because I don't see how you can get around this. Feminism is really about saying that everything a man can do, we can do too. Men mess with a lot of women, we can do it too, right? We should be able to do the same thing, right? Men own companies, women should be able to do the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that women shouldn't own companies, or I disagree or agree with any of this. I'm just saying this is what feminism is about. Feminism is about anything that men can do, we could do too, right? And I'm sorry, sisters, but that is a population control method that they're using. Okay, and the same people that are pushing feminism are the same people that are pushing abortion. the same people that are pushing this homosexuality. Okay, so, we'll get into that another time because that's a deep conversation. But, feminism is really about, it should be called masculinism. You know what I'm saying? Really, because what is telling women is that everything that men do, you should be able to do too. But this is the thing, sisters, it's going against your nature. Because at the end of the day, what I see going on out here is a lot of women who have certain feminist ideologies, they still want to be treated like women. Because see, this is the thing, you are a natural woman. You are naturally feminine. Okay, you may have, through a lot of different environmental reasons, been hardened up and made more masculine, just like our men have been made feminine. And understand that is the agenda, family. What they're doing is, right now, is they're trying to make the men, black men, feminine, and they're trying to make black women masculine. So you have the masculinization of black women and the feminization of the black man. A lot of people want to say, oh, it's the feminization of the black man. That's a fact. There's a feminization of the black man. You could clearly see that. But what should also be as clear is the masculinization of the black woman. It's not our fault. Okay, let me make this clear. Anytime I speak on these types of things, I'm not criticizing and blaming us. We're not to blame. I put the blame exactly where the fuck it's supposed to be, which is on this occult that's running shit. That's why I put the blame. It's not our fault. But at the same time, it's our responsibility to be able to peak game so that we can rise up and take this damn planet back like we rightfully should do. All right. So masculine is about pushing out energy. Feminine is about taking in energy or being receptive to energy, right? Not being submissive. Now, this is the thing. When we talk about pushing out energy, taking in energy, understand this is where, we have to use some, we can't be dense about this because just like the earth and the sun, overall, the earth takes in more energy than it pushes out. It doesn't mean that the earth doesn't push out any energy, right? And the same thing with the sun. The sun overall pushes out more energy than it takes in, but it doesn't mean it doesn't take in any energy. So with that being said, we all know that no matter if you're a man or a woman, you have a masculine side and a feminine side. So it's not to say that a woman does not have any masculine about her, and it's not to say that men don't have any feminine about them. We have both. The key is, though, overall, as a woman, you are by nature supposed to be mostly feminine, right? I mean, way more feminine, really. And the same thing as a man. You can have a feminine side, but you're supposed to be mostly masculine, right? Anything else is out of balance, okay? Because two masculine charges do not create life. They repel. Two negative charges do not create life, right? So we can clearly see that to go against this, to try to buck on the system, is against the rules, is against nature, which means you're against God. Okay, and a lot of people are gonna have a problem with that because like I said, we've been taught to believe that there is no such thing as any rules, and I get to make up my own rules. We have to get out of that thinking. That is just arrogance. That is human arrogance to the fucking 30th power. We got to get rid of that. So now, how does this express itself in how we deal with one another, right, as men and women? Well, it means that men are supposed to provide and that women are supposed to receive. And women, think about it. You are naturally designed to want to receive. You love when men take you out, right? You feel like a woman, right? Now, this is the thing. Me as a man, I don't feel like no man being taken out and being showered with gifts and all that. I don't, or some women taking care of me. Like, that doesn't feel masculine, right? Right? It doesn't. Right? But for a woman, you feel like a woman, right? You feel good. It's like, wow, I got this man. He's a provider, this, that, and the third. You feel like it's natural. And the same thing as a man, providing for a woman feels natural, right? You know what I mean? It feels good to come in my house and, see the things that I provided and see, my woman enjoying it and feeling comfortable. Like, I feel like I've done some shit on this earth. You know what I mean? Like you feel like I'm doing my job. You know what I mean? This is natural, family. We have to get back to thinking like this. Now, this is the issue. And this is really the issue with just us being natural, period. Once again, we've been conquered. We are in a position where we basically like in the matrix. This whole shit is artificial. It's disgusting. It's completely against nature. And so what they've done is they've set up an environment where it's not conducive to living in harmony with nature. So that applies to this principle too, because it's difficult right now for a man, a black man, to be the provider that he should be. You know why? As much as people don't want to accept this, right? You know, and that's a whole nother discussion too. But it is harder for black men to make money in this environment. Anyone who disagrees with that, all you have to do is ask yourself this question. Who are the people that own and control the resources and basically are the gatekeepers to you making money anyway? Okay, what you are saying is if you don't think that there's any kind of impediment to us being able to make money, what you're saying is the descendants of our slave masters that run shit, they're open arms to us. They bring us right in. They hire us left and right. Come on, we know statistically that's just not a fact. But see, we get caught up in this thing where we want to blame each other. You know what I mean? That's, you know, and we'll say, oh, the system is against us. The system is against. But then when it comes time to apply that to practical daily situations, like when you see that black man not doing well, you don't want to look at it like, oh, there's some systematic, you know what I mean, reason behind this. You just want to say, oh, he just a bum. He a bum. He a bum ass nigga. That's it. Ain't nothing else to it. He a bum. And if he say anything, well, look, it's a little hard to get a job. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you just trying to blame the white man. You just blaming the white man. You need to stop with all those excuses. You know, and you know, look, people say that kind of stuff and they say it like they're saying something intelligent. I'm sorry, family. There's nothing intelligent about that. There's nothing intelligent about someone putting the blame where it really belongs. Mind you, remember how we were fucking brought here. Okay, family, remember like how we were brought here. That's why it's really ironic, really, that we have such a hard time believing that the system is responsible for a lot of the problems that we see, given the history that we have. Like it's amazing, really. And it really is just a testament to how crafty these people are at manipulation and psychological warfare. You know what I mean? And indoctrination. The fact that something that's so blatantly obvious is seen as like crazy to us. Like you say that the system is to blame, and it's like, what? That's crazy, man. No, you just blaming the white man, and you know we get into all that dumbass. That shit is not intelligent. There's nothing intelligent about that, and we'll go into that at another time too. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, this is the natural way, right? And it's difficult. They make it impractical, right, to be able to live in the natural way. You know what I mean? So, and the same thing with the women. You know what I mean? You know, yeah, you're supposed to be provided for and you're supposed to be receptive to, you know, male masculine energy. But, you know, it's difficult to find that because you end up having to fend for yourself. It's like, and I understand. It's like, all right, if you were a man and he broke or, you know what I mean? And it's not all about just money when I say providing either. Let me make that clear. Because, and maybe the sisters ain't going to like this, but even providing information is about giving out energy too. It's about sharing light. You know what I mean? The thing is, but when you give a woman that kind of energy, you share your light, right? And which can come in the form of knowledge. That woman then can take that and turn that into something that the man can't do on his own. The women take in that light and turn it into something beautiful. You know what I mean? Think about it. The earth takes in the light from the sun. And I mean, look at how beautiful the earth, what the earth has done with that energy. You know what I mean? Look at all the trees and the flowers and the different animals and us and just all the different, just, you know, the earth is beautiful. You wouldn't really call the sun beautiful. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't really call it, you can't even live on the sun. It's too hot. But the earth is just like, it's paradise. You know what I mean? Like, well, it can be, but it overall is paradise. And that's an example of how feminine energy takes in, is receptive to positive masculine energy. and then it takes in that energy and does something just, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing with a woman. A woman will take in your semen, and I mean, what they create is children. I mean, that, you know, that shit is beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, children are probably just some of the most beautiful, you know, things that you know that you can be around. Like, I mean, babies and little kids is just, you know, that's godly. You know what I mean? I think everyone can agree on that. That's why when people say, "Oh, I don't want kids," I'm like, you know, that's, you know, your prerogative, but that's not natural, man. You know what I mean? And that's a whole nother discussion too. But the environment that we're in, it makes it impractical for us to be like this. But this is the thing. What we have to do is this. It's one thing when the environment is messed up, right? And it makes it hard for you to live in the natural way. And you just say, you know what? Even though it's difficult for me to live in a natural way, I'm going to try my hardest to get there. And I'm going to do everything that I can to live in the natural way, right? That's one way of thinking. A whole nother way of thinking is when you just say, oh, well, it's impractical to live natural, and fuck it. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try to be natural. Fuck it. See, that's not the wave. You know what I mean? That right there is going to continue, you know, keep us in this cycle that we in now, and it's going to continue to get worse and worse. And that's what's going on with our community, family. We can see it's getting worse and worse. Morals and principles is out the fucking door. Ain't no morals and principles. Not in America. That shit is done. You know what I mean? Nobody cares about nothing. Now, shit, people say love is corny, and you got, you know, I see memes, women talking about, yeah, you know, fuck having a family, fuck that, go get your money, sis, and all that. It's like we put money and materialism before nature. You know what I mean? And it's not their fault. I'm not like criticizing them or trying to, you know, come at them in any kind of way, because, you know, they living in this bullshit like how everybody is. You know what I mean? They in the matrix like everybody. So I'm not blaming them, but I'm just saying that that's the point that it's gotten to. In effect, that's what's going on. Like, shit is terrible, and it's going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. I seen a picture yesterday of a real feminine gay black man hugged up with a real masculine, like, studdish black woman. Like, they was a couple. And, you know, it's just crazy because it's like, that's exactly what they're pushing this shit. That's the feminization of the black man and the masculinization of the black woman. And that's the point that, you see what I'm saying? That's the direction that shit is going, where you're going to start seeing that. Studs and super gay, you know what I mean? Real flaming gay niggas together. Like, that shit, look, people going to get mad. I know, but I don't care, because I'm not about to let these people and their minions make me go against what I know is righteous and natural. That shit is not natural. It's not to disparage anyone who is homosexual. That's a whole nother conversation, whatever. I don't hate them. I have no problem. I actually have, you know, people like, I got a friend that, you know, that is, I wouldn't call her a stud, but she, you know, she's a gay woman. Like, I don't have a problem with them, but at the same time, like, that's not the ideal situation for our community. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, looking at somebody with autism, it's not to mean that I hate them because they got autism, but is that what we should want for all of our people? Fuck no. We don't want all of our people to have autism. You know, but just because there's, you know, someone that has autism don't mean I'm like, oh, I hate them, fuck them. That's not, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I look at the homosexual shit. Like, I don't have a problem with, you know what I mean? But at the same time, them pushing that shit is going against nature. You know what I mean? And it's population control. And like I said, the same people that are pushing that are the same people that are pushing abortion, the same people that are pushing feminism. It's all there for you to see. It's all clear. You know what I mean? For you to see. But, you know, we have to keep this in mind. And we're going to expand on this topic because this is a topic that is not a, you know, easy one to tackle. It's one of them ones that's going to take a long time. I don't want to make this video too long, but, you know, masculine and feminine gender roles are not a social construct. That's just not real. Our ancestors knew this. We have to get back to our ancestors in Kemet. That's where the answers are. And masculine is about pushing out energy to create life. Feminine is about being receptive and taking in energy to create life. So In the meantime, definitely want y'all to do whatever you need to do, within righteousness to, take care of yourself and survive within this madness that we all in. Until next Sunday, I definitely, love y'all, of course, and peace.